Good morning. We got the book of Deuteronomy chapter 17. You shall not sacrifice to the Lord your God an ox or a sheep with any serious defect. That would be an abomination to the Lord your God. If there is found in your midst, in any one of your communities which the Lord your God gives you, a man or a woman who does evil in the sight of the Lord your God, and transgresses his covenant by going to serve other gods, by bowing down to them, to the sun or the moon or any of the hosts of heaven, contrary to my command. And if you are told or hear of it, you must investigate it thoroughly. If the truth of the matter is established that the abomination has been committed in Israel, you shall bring the man or the woman who has done this evil deed out to your gates and stone the man or woman to death. Only on the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses shall a person be put to death. No one shall be put to death on the testimony of only one witness. The hands of the witness shall be the first raised to put the person to death, and afterward the hands of all the people. Thus shall you purge the evil from your midst. Judges. If there is a case for judgment which proves too baffling for you to decide in a matter of bloodshed, or of law, or of injury, matters of dispute within your gates, you shall then go up to the place which the Lord your God will choose, to the Levitical priests, or to the judge who is in the office at that time. They shall investigate the case and then announce to you the decision. You shall act according to the decision they announce to you in the place which the Lord will choose carefully. Observing everything as they instruct you, you shall carry out the instruction that they give you and the judgment they pronounce, without turning aside either to the right or to the left, the decision they announce to you. Anyone who acts presumptuously and does not obey the priest, who officiates there in the ministry of the Lord your God, or the judge, shall die. Thus you shall purge the evil from Israel, and all the people on hearing of it shall fear and will never again act presumptuously. The king. When you have come into the land which the Lord your God is giving you, and have taken possession of it, and settled in it, should you then decide, I will set a king over me, like all the surrounding nations, you may indeed set over you a king whom the Lord your God will choose. Someone from among your own kindred you may set over you as king. You may not set over you a foreigner who is no kin of yours. But he shall not have a great number of horses, nor shall he make his people go back again to Egypt to acquire many horses, for the Lord said to you, do not go back that way again. Neither shall he have a great number of wives, lest his heart turn away, nor shall he accumulate a vast amount of silver and gold. When he is sitting upon his royal throne, he shall write a copy of this law upon a scroll from the one that is in the custody of the Levitical priests. It shall remain with him, and he shall read it as long as he lives, so that he may learn to fear the Lord his God, and to observe carefully all the words of this law and their statutes, so that he does not exalt himself over his kindred, or turn aside from this commandment to the right or to the left, and so that he and his descendants may reign long in Israel. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 18. I almost spilled that on my Bible. Chapter 18. Priests. The Levitical priests, the whole tribe of Levi, shall have no hereditary portion with Israel. They shall eat the fire offerings of the Lord, and the portions due to him. They shall have no heritage among their kindred. The Lord himself is their heritage, as he has told them. This shall be the due of the priests from the people. Those who are offering a sacrifice, whether an ox or a sheep, shall give the priest the shoulder, the jowls, and the stomach, the first fruits of your grain, your wine, and your oil, as well as the first shearing of your flock. You shall also give him, for the Lord your God has chosen him out of all the tribes to be in attendance to minister all the name of the Lord, him and his descendants for all time. When a Levite goes from one of your communities anywhere in Israel in which he has been residing to visit as his heart may desire, the place which the Lord will choose, and ministers there in the name of the Lord, his God, like all his fellow Levites who stand before the Lord there. He shall receive the same portions to eat along with his stipends and patrimony. Prophets, when you come into the land which the Lord your God is giving you, you shall not learn to imitate the abominations of the nations there. Let there not be found among you anyone who causes their son or daughters to pass through the fire, or practices divination, or is a soothsayer, augur, or sorcerer, or who casts spells, consults ghosts and spirits, or seeks oracles from the dead. Anyone who does such things is an abomination to the Lord, and because of such abominations the Lord your God is dispossessing them before you. You must be altogether sincere with the Lord your God. Although these nations whom you are about to dispossess listen to their soothsayers and diviners, the Lord your God will not permit you to do so. A prophet like me will the Lord your God raise up for you from among your own kindred. That is the one to whom you shall listen. This is exactly what you requested of the Lord your God at Horeb on the day of the assembly. When you said, "Let me not again hear the voice of the Lord my God, nor see this great fire any more, I will die." And the Lord said to me, "What they have said is good. I will raise up for them a prophet like you from among their kindred, and will put my words into the mouth of the prophet, and the prophet shall tell them all that I command. Anyone who will not listen to my words, which the prophet speaks in my name, I myself will hold accountable for it. But if a prophet presumes to speak a word in my name that I have not commanded, or speaks in the name of other gods, that prophet shall die. Should you say to yourselves, how can we recognize that a word is one the Lord has not spoken? If a prophet speaks in the name of the Lord, but the word does not come true, it is a word the Lord did not speak. The prophet has spoken it presumptuously. Do not fear him." Deuteronomy chapter 19. Cities of refuge. When the Lord your God cuts down the nations whose land the Lord your God is giving you, and you have dispossessed them and settled in their cities and houses, you shall set apart 3 cities in the land the Lord your God is giving you to possess. You shall measure the distances and divide into 3 regions the land of which the Lord your God is giving you possession, so that every homicide will be able to find a refuge. If this is the case of a homicide, he may take refuge there and live. When someone strikes down a neighbor unintentionally, not out of previous hatred, for example, if someone goes with a neighbor to a forest to cut wood, wielding an axe to cut down a tree, and its head flies off the handle and hits the neighbor a mortal blow, such a person may take refuge in one of those cities and live. Should the distance be too great, the avenger of blood might in hot anger pursue, overtake, and strike the killer dead, even though that one does not deserve the death penalty, since there had been no previous hatred. For this reason I command you, set apart 3 cities. But if the Lord your God enlarges your territory, as he swore to your ancestors, and gives you all the land he promised your ancestors he would give, because you carefully observe the whole commandment which I give you today, loving the Lord your God, and ever walking in his ways, then add 3 more cities to these 3. Thus, in the land which the Lord your God is giving you as a heritage, innocent blood will not be shed. Innocent blood will not be shed, and you will not become guilty of bloodshed. However, if someone having a neighbor lies in wait, attacks and strikes the neighbor dead, and then flees to one of these cities, the elders of the killer's own city shall send and have the killer taken from there, to be handed over to the avenger of blood and slain. Do not show pity, but purge from Israel the innocent blood, so that it may go well with you. Removal of landmarks. You shall not move your neighbor's boundary markers, erected by your forefathers in the heritage that will be allotted to you in the land the Lord your God is giving you to possess. False witnesses. 1 witness alone shall not stand against someone in regard to any crime or any offense that may have been committed A charge shall stand only on the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. If a hostile witness rises against someone to accuse the person of wrongdoing, the 2 parties in the dispute shall appear in the presence of the Lord, in the presence of the priests and judges in offices at that time, and the judges must investigate it thoroughly. If the witness is a false witness and has falsely accused the other, you shall do to the false witness just as the false witness planned to do to the other. Thus shall you purge the evil from your midst. The rest shall hear and be afraid, and never again do such an evil thing as this in your midst. Do not show pity. Life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, and foot for foot. God bless you.